The feeling of making money but never really getting ahead is frustrating. You work hard, your paycheck comes in, but somehow, by the end of the month, you're back at square one, barely saving, relying on credit cards, or waiting for the next payday just to stay afloat. If that sounds familiar, there's a good chance you're living above your means. Most people don't realize they're spending more than they should. It doesn't always look like luxury cars or designer clothes. Sometimes it's the slow creep of lifestyle inflation, small financial habits that add up over time, or the pressure to maintain a certain image. The problem is, when your spending outpaces your income, financial freedom becomes impossible. In today's video, we're breaking down the biggest signs that you might be living beyond your means, and more importantly, what you can do to fix it before it's too late. Let's get into it. Number 1. You struggle to save even a small percentage of your income. One of the biggest red flags that you're living beyond your means is if you find it nearly impossible to save money. No matter how much you earn, if you can't consistently set aside a portion of your income, whether it's 10%, 5%, or even just a few dollars every paycheck, then your expenses are too high. Many people assume they don't make enough to save, but in reality, the issue isn't always income, it's spending. If you're always waiting for more money before you start saving, chances are even when you get a raise, your expenses will just increase with it. That's why so many people earn more but still feel broke. A simple way to fix this is the pay yourself first strategy. Set up an automatic transfer to savings before you spend a single dollar. If you don't see the money in your checking account, you'll be less likely to spend it. Number 2, you rely on credit cards to cover everyday expenses. Credit cards can be useful financial tools, but they become a problem when you're using them to survive rather than as a convenience. If you're constantly swiping to pay for groceries, gas, or other basic necessities, not because you want to earn points, but because you don't have the cash, you're overspending. The biggest warning sign is if you're carrying a balance month after month and only paying the minimum due. Credit card interest rates are brutal, and once you start relying on them to cover gaps in your budget, the debt cycle is almost impossible to escape. If you're finding this information helpful so far, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We break down financial topics like this every week, helping you build wealth and avoid money traps. Now, let's move on. Number 3, you upgrade your lifestyle every time you get a raise. Lifestyle inflation is one of the biggest reasons people stay stuck financially. If every time you get a raise, you immediately upgrade your car, move into a bigger apartment, or start eating out more often, you're not actually improving your financial situation. You're just spending at a higher level. The wealthy don't increase their expenses just because they make more. Instead, they focus on growing their investments, saving aggressively, and keeping their spending below their earnings. Meanwhile, the middle class and those living paycheck to paycheck often use raises as an excuse to spend more, keeping them stuck in the same cycle no matter how much they earn. Number 4, your rent or mortgage eats up too much of your income. Housing is one of the biggest financial traps people fall into. The general rule is that you should never spend more than 30 to 35% of your income on rent or mortgage payments. If your housing costs are taking up half or more of what you make, then you're likely living beyond your means. Many people stretch their budgets just to live in a nicer home, telling themselves it's worth it. But what they don't realize is that this decision comes at a cost. It means sacrificing savings, investments, and financial flexibility. Wealthy individuals are smart about their housing choices. They live below their means even when they can afford more because they understand that too much house can become a financial burden instead of an asset. Number 5, you have no emergency fund. A financial emergency can hit at any time. Unexpected medical bills, a sudden job loss, or a car repair shouldn't completely destroy your finances. But for many people, it does. If you have little to no money saved for emergencies and would have to rely on credit cards or loans to cover an unexpected expense, you're in a dangerous financial position. Most experts recommend having at least 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses saved. But even if that seems impossible, starting small, even just a few $100s, can provide a cushion and prevent you from sinking deeper into debt when life throws a curveball. Number 6, you're financing too many things. Financing is another way people unknowingly live above their means. Monthly payments can make anything seem affordable. New furniture, the latest phone, a high-end car. But when you add up all those small payments, you often end up spending far more than you realize. If you're making payments on multiple things at once, and a significant portion of your income is going toward paying off debt rather than building wealth, It's a sign that you've stretched yourself too thin financially. The wealthy buy assets that generate income. The middle class finances liabilities that drain their income. Number 7, you're overpaying for convenience. Another sign that you might be living above your means is spending too much money on convenience. Small daily purchases like takeout meals, delivery fees, or premium subscription services may seem harmless, but they add up quickly. If a large part of your budget goes toward avoiding effort, you might be silently bleeding money without realizing it. Instead of always opting for the easiest option, consider small lifestyle changes that can help you save. Cooking at home instead of eating out, cutting unnecessary subscriptions, or using cash instead of digital payments can make a big difference over time. Number 8, you feel stressed about money all the time. Financial stress isn't always about how much you earn. It's about how much you spend. If you constantly feel anxious about bills, worry about unexpected expenses, or feel like you're always one emergency away from financial disaster, it's a clear sign that your lifestyle may be too expensive for your income. Wealthy individuals don't just measure success by income. They measure it by financial security. If your spending habits are causing you stress, it's a sign that changes need to be made. Cutting unnecessary expenses and focusing on building savings can drastically improve your financial well-being. Number 9, you're trying to keep up with others. Social pressure is one of the biggest reasons people overspend. Whether it's upgrading your phone every year, constantly buying new clothes, or going on expensive vacations just because your friends are doing it, trying to keep up with others is one of the fastest ways to stay broke. The truth is, many people who look rich aren't actually wealthy. They're financing their lifestyles with debt just to create the illusion of success. Real wealth isn't about what you show, it's about what you keep. The moment you stop caring about impressing others, you gain full control over your financial future. Number 10, you don't track your spending. If you have no idea where your money goes each month, chances are you're overspending without even realizing it. Not tracking your expenses is like driving with your eyes closed. You're bound to crash. Many people assume they're doing fine because they feel in control. But when they actually sit down and review their spending, they're shocked by how much goes toward things they don't need. Using a simple budgeting app or even writing things down in a notebook can reveal patterns and help you plug the financial leaks. When you track what you spend, you take back control. Living above your means doesn't have to be a permanent situation. The first step is awareness, recognizing the warning signs and making conscious decisions to change. If you struggle to save, start small, even if it's just $10 a week. If you rely on credit cards, create a plan to pay off high-interest debt first. If your housing costs are eating up too much of your income, consider downsizing or finding ways to increase your earnings without inflating your lifestyle. Most importantly, shift your mindset. The wealthy stay rich by spending less than they earn and investing the difference. The sooner you adopt this approach, the sooner you can build financial freedom and stop feeling trapped by money. The good news is you can regain control. The key is making small, consistent changes that add up over time. The sooner you start, the better off you'll be in the future.